welcome back to This is Kendra. Today, we're gonna be talking Siesta Keys. Yes, it's back for its second part. We're 4 episodes in, so if you like Siesta Keys and wanna hear this review, share, like, and comment down below. I put videos out every Monday. So, we are 4 episodes in. I know this review is a little late, but we're doing it in chunks. So the first episode of this season, they split it up into the summer season and the fall season. The first episode we meet a couple of new people. We meet Hannah, who is Juliet's best friend. We meet Canvas, who works at the Tiki Bar. We meet Carson, who's Brandon's best friend. Well, not best friend, but friends. And we meet Tariq, who's friends with Mattis. So, for the first episode, we see that Garrett and Juliet are still together. They start their little segment being at the park, having this little football game, and that's where we meet Hannah. Then we see that Brandon and Madison are still together. Madison is now living with Kelsey and her sister Paige. Brandon takes Madison to meet his family. Then Madison on the docks is like, I love you. And then Brandon's like, well, I think I love you. Check mark right there. Flag. She needs to run. Then we meet Canvas at the Tiki Bar. Brandon and Canvas hit it off right away. They're flirting since they meet at the Tiki Bar. Then we meet Tariq. His storyline this season is him coming out to his mom or his parents. He moved back from Siesta Keys from Miami. Then they have a fall party. So they have this get together. The only person that doesn't go to this get together is Juliet. Kelsey and Carson seem to be having a thing. They are flirting at the bar the whole time, but then Kelsey ends up outside the bar fighting with Garrett, which I don't understand why she's flirting with Carson and then fighting with Garrett over Garrett's and her saying they still love each other, but Garrett's still with Juliet. So Kelsey ends up missing her Uber, so Garrett drives her home. The whole time, we go back into the bar. The whole time, Madison is just standing with Tariq, but Brandon is off flirting with Canvas. So that's a whole thing. So we go into the next scene, and it's Juliet, Hannah's boyfriend, and Garrett. Juliet asks why Garrett was not picking up her phone calls. And Garrett kind of commits to a lie, but doesn't commit to a lie. He's like, oh, I was meal prepping for you and some other people. That's why I didn't pick up my phone. So the next scene, I don't know if it was Madison who was talking to Kelsey about she seeing her on her Snapchat map that she was at Garrett's house. Kelsey's like, yeah, I slept at Garrett's house, but nothing happened. I slept on the couch. Have this pool party, and once again, Brandon is flirting with Canvas, vice versa. Canvas is flirting with Brandon. Madison's off in the corner doing whatever. So Tariq goes to Canvas and is like, well, you know Madison and Brandon are together, right? She's like, I know, but I don't need to have respect for her or whatever. They just don't seem like they're together. So Brandon decides now, I've neglected my girlfriend enough. I'm going to go talk to her. So Madison is like, are we okay? Brandon's like, I'm confused. Madison's like, what do you mean you're confused? Brandon's like, I'm confused. And it kind of ends on that note. It goes up to Kelsey and is like, so this is what I heard you were at Garrett's house the whole time. Like, you were at Garrett's house last night. And Kelsey's like, yeah, I was at Garrett's house, nothing happened. I don't want to tell Juliet because that's not my place to tell Juliet. So Chloe's like, well, I'm kind of friends with her, I'm gonna tell her. So Garrett and Kelsey go off, they're flirting at the docks. Chloe goes and tells Juliet that Kelsey had stayed over at Garrett's house. So Juliet is now pissed. She drags herself down to the docks. She starts cussing Kelsey. Kelsey walks away. Juliet now says Garrett's just like Alex, and then she runs off and she leaves the party. So before the episode ends, the first episode ends, Madison ends up going to Alex's house to see what happens to him, because the last season it cuts off with Alex having his like face wrapped up in like mummy gauze. So she goes, he explains to her that he got into a fight and they broke his jaw. That's all that really happens. Episode 2 starts off with it being Chloe's birthday party. So this is the main event of the whole episode. Nothing major happens. Garrett and Juliet have a talk. Juliet's like, I don't want you talking to Kelsey. I think that's disrespectful to me. If you could please stop. Garrett's like, but she's my friend. Juliet's like, I need you to stop talking to Kelsey. It bothers me. Can you just stop talking to her? They cut to a scene where they're decorating the tiki bar for the birthday party. So before they all go to the birthday party, they are at the beach. And it's Madison, Brandon, Carson, and I believe some other people that I don't remember who was there. But Paul was there, and Paul makes the comment that Madison had gone to see Alex, and Brandon was two-faced. He didn't know that Madison had gone to see Brandon, that Madison had gone to see Alex. So he's just kind of like, what do you mean you went to go see him and didn't tell me? She's kind of like, oh, I didn't think it was anything major. So they kind of have this little talk about Canvas, and then it's the birthday party. First of all, ask me why Alex would go to Chloe's birthday party. Has stated to this man that she does not like him. So he picks up himself in his little boat and is like, I'm going to this birthday party. Yay! Okay, Alex. So after the fact that Juliet and Garrett had this talk that she doesn't feel comfortable that Garrett talks to Kelsey, what happens? They come to the party together. He runs off and talks to Kelsey, but full well knowing that Garrett is going to have a problem with this, she goes and talks to Alex. She's talking to Alex, she's flirting with Alex. They're both off doing their own thing. Madison goes to Canvas and tells her straight out, stop talking to my man. You're disrespecting me. She's like, oh, well, whatever happens, happens. I'm not gonna stop it if something happens. But she's like, that's my man, back off. I was very proud of her in that moment. So after all that drama between Canvas and Madison, you kind of hear in the background that they're showing the boat and Juliet and Alex are there. But in the back, you can hear Madison, Chloe, and Kelsey going off, running their mouth. First of all, I don't see why Kelsey is running her mouth, because she did the same thing to Garrett that Juliet is now doing to Garrett. She last season went And it was worse because Garrett and Juliet, I don't think, made it official. They're not boyfriend and girlfriend. Kelsey was dating Garrett. She is up running her mouth about how, oh, why is Juliet on the boat with Alex, da 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 da. Please, sit down. Madison, just because you have a new man, you spent how many years running after Alex? You cannot say anything. You cannot say shit because you went and hooked up with Alex when he was with Juliet. So what do you think he's gonna do? Chloe, to my knowledge, is the only one that hasn't slept with Alex. So she's the only one that could probably say something about it, but they're all cussing. So Kelsey hears this, Juliet hears this, so Juliet comes running off the dock, she pushes Kelsey, and they kind of get into a little fist fight type deal, nothing too big. But instead of Garrett comforting Juliet, he's comforting Kelsey. Juliet and Alex is comforting Juliet. They go back to his boat. They end up kissing before Garrett decides to go and talk to Juliet. Before all of this shit went down, Garrett actually went to the boat and decided to tell Juliet to get off the boat. You need to get off. But I guess he can't really say anything because he was talking to Kelsey the whole time. This is the thing with relationships. I've done my fair share of it. If the two parties have someone they don't want the other party to be talking to, they cannot go and talk to that same party, but expect their significant other not to go talk to the party that they don't want them talking to. If it's a mutual thing, they both have someone they don't want the other spouse to be talking to, that's how it should be if you voice that concern. So it ends up with Juliet and Garrett driving off. Juliet decides, I'm going home. That's how that ends. The third episode now doesn't have too much meat in it. It has it where Juliet goes back to college. Kelsey, Madison, and Paige have a housewarming party. So they have this housewarming party. Kelsey and Carson go on a date. So Garrett goes to this housewarming party instead of going to some party where Kelsey is. And guess who shows up? Alex shows up at this school party. God knows why, but he shows up. They shaded Juliet in this episode so hard though. I don't know if they meant to do it or if it was some audio thing they pulled out from somewhere else. Alex shows up. They're standing by like a balcony and he's like, I'm just trying to get laid. And then they cut to the next scene. The girl's face looked shocked as fucking hell. So Garrett is at this party back in Siesta Keys and Carson and Kelsey are flirting the whole time, so he goes out to call Juliet, but Juliet's flirting with Alex. So Alex spends the whole weekend there, I believe. Him and Juliet and Hannah and her boyfriend get into it. They're like, oh, Juliet's my best friend, you only hurt her, da 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 da. And then the boyfriend is like, I'm tired of hearing her talk about whatever. They end the conversation with, they're not gonna talk about each other's significant other when it comes to Alex and Hannah's boyfriend. So that episode ends with Alex being like, I want you to be my girl. I want you to be official with me. Here I didn't think Juliet could get any stupider because in the little preview scene of the next one, It kind of shows where she looks like she's saying no to him, but we'll get into that. So episode 4 happens, and it's more of Kelsey and Madison going to New York. Kelsey's still pursuing her modeling career. They shade her the whole episode. People are laughing behind her back because she wants to do editorial, and they're like, oh, she thinks she's high fashion and she's not. So she kind of settles into she's gonna have to do commercial print. Madison goes there because she's trying to find an engineering job. That doesn't go well either. Madison, they go to this party. Madison finds this gorgeous, like when I tell you he's a model, he is a gorgeous, mixed, caramel lover. She turns him down. She turns him straight down. They go to a party. He's like, not even a little kiss. She's, no, I can't. So she goes and calls Brandon. Brandon now is back in Siesta Keys. First of all, he goes and he's having a performance that night. He meets up with Candace. They're just talking about music. You kind of get into her story. She, I guess, was homeless at 16, so she's been taking care of herself since then, and she writes because to get out all of the trouble she's been through. So Brandon's having a party to launch his music that night. So when they were at the studio, Candace is like, so why is Madison not coming? Because he states that Madison's not gonna be there. Candace was like, oh, if I was your girl, I would be there. And he's kind of like, oh, you're trouble. Well, we all knew the girl was trouble. So they made us believe that it would be Candace and Brandon hooking up. But no. We get to this party. All these girls are all over Brandon. Like, oh my God, I heard you were having this party and I had to come. Please, if you didn't know the man was having this party, you wouldn't have called or whatever. So all these girls were like, kiss me on the cheek, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. So Candace ends up coming. One of her friends is like, oh my God, you're so in love with him, when he's doing his thing on stage. They shoot to this little, well, I wouldn't even call her little. This girl, I believe they said her name was Brittany. I don't really care. She's not coming back. Paul and Madison's sister Paige end up hooking up. So this Brittany girl comes back into the scene and is like, oh, to Brandon, you wanna go home with me? He leaves. He goes with her. And Candace is like, oh, well, she has big titties, so that's why he went. That is the major thing that happened that episode. Another major thing that happened was Juliet goes to Alex's boat and was like, yeah, I want to be your girl, but only if you're serious about it. And he's like, yeah, I'm serious. After my job, after going to school, I'm serious. I want to be with you. So to wrap it all off, when we get to the end of the episode, Brandon does his little walk of shame to the Uber, and we go back to New York, and Madison and Kelsey are talking about how he didn't call her, but they're gonna strive on because that's what they need to do. Episode 5 is tonight. Go watch it. Shit is gonna go down. Shit is going to go down. I hope you guys like this review, and come back next Monday. This is Kendra TV. I'll see you soon. Bye.